moment. This is your host, Miguel Ramos, your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your transformational trainer. I want everybody to be pumped up on this morning. I want everybody to be encouraged. Listen, grab a pen and paper. I'm going to give you awesome tips of how to motivate yourself, how to increase value in yourself that you can go on and grasp and touch and listen and just tackle the day. Just grab, like I said, grab life by the horn and just do what it is that you're supposed to do. So I've been teaching about leadership for the last couple of days. And to me, leadership is just so amazing, so awesome. I believe that inside every one of us, there is a leader trap. Yes, we may be followers, but every follower was born to be a leader. That leader just needs to be extracted. So one thing that I found out, ladies and gentlemen, is that every leader needs to be motivated. Every leader needs to be motivated. You have to understand that without motivation, that is, like we said, like the tackling fuel. That is what thrusts you forward, what pushes you to the next level. Sometimes you will not find motivation from no place but yourself, and you have to learn how to motivate yourself in every situation that you're going through. So today, what I want to do is I want to give you the 4 key points to get up and go. 4 key points to get up and go. I live by this. I teach not just my students, not just my leaders that I'm developing, but I also teach my kids, my family. They'll let you know if you ever meet anybody from my family, man, I come down hard on them because I believe in success. I believe that success is something that you have to create. It's not going to fall on your lap. It's not going to come knocking at your door and telling you, listen, success is here, why don't you grab me? It's not just gonna haphazardly, just come and fall at your doorstep. No, you have to create success. You have to grind. You have to be hungry. You have to go out there. You have to create it for you. And if a door shuts, listen, climb through the window. Go somewhere else. My mother used to always have this saying, I call it a proverb. She always used to tell me, son, God will never close a door without leaving a window cracked. In other words, you have to find a way to get in there. You have to find a way to get in there. I don't care if you got to climb through the window. I don't care if you got to crawl down the chimney. But success is inevitable to those that are constantly in practice. Develop a skill. So I'm going to give you 4 key points to get up and go. So this is me motivating you. Maybe you're a person right now that's saying, man, it's so awesome what he's doing, but I'm afraid. Why should I do it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We have so many excuses not to go forward, not to be thrusted to success. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't do it, you're going to live a life of regrets. You're going to live a life of possibilities when you could have lived a life of realities. So again, I'm here to motivate you. This is what I do. I do it constantly. I'm going to share with you a couple of testimonies. I'm going to share with you my life experience. I'm going to share with you how I came to be here. But I also want to focus on you. I want to connect with you. I want you to know that you can do the same thing, if not more than what I'm doing. All the greats that came before me, Zig Ziglar, Robert Kiyosaki, you have Brian Tracy, Les Brown, you have T.D. Jakes, you have Joel, all these great people that are now awesome speakers and awesome encouragers and are people that are putting their footprints in the world. You can be the same as them. You can be just like them. You can be remembered. You can be valued. Albert Einstein said once, listen, don't seek to be a man of success, but seek to be a man of value. In other words, when you want people to value you, you want people to remember you for whatever it is that you are doing, for whatever it is that you're going to do. You want people to remember you. So again, you have to get up and go. So let me give you these key points, right? So number 1, I got 4 key points to help you get up and go. I mean, like, have you ever had the passion? Look at me, I'm pumped up. Have you ever had the passion to want to do something and you have the idea, you have the know-how, you have the knowledge, you have the vision, but you just can't get up that seat. You just can't get out of that bed. You just can't get out of that funk, that depression state, that state of fear. And you say, man, I want to do it, but I don't know how to do it. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Stop waiting for people to tell you how to do what you know how to do. Stop waiting for people to try to push you. You got to push yourself. You got to get up out that chair and you got to do something about it. So the number 1 key point that we go through is that we ask ourselves, why should I try? That's number 1. Why should I try? Well, listen, you don't want to live a life of possibility. The reason that you should try is because you want to live a life of reality. You don't want to live a life of what should have, could have, would have. You don't want to live a life saying, man, I could have invented that. I could have done that. I could have wrote that book. I know that. Oh, God revealed that to me a long time ago. Listen, It is not real unless you make it reality. You could have said, I had that idea. You could have said, I had that same vision, or I wanted to do that. Unless you put it to reality, it doesn't exist. My wife always says this thing, and I love when she says it. She says that knowing and not doing is not knowing at all. You ever spoken to people and you try to tell them something, you try to encourage them, you try to coach them, you try to teach them, and they always say, well, I know. Yeah, but you never did it. So knowing and not doing is not knowing at all. You can't acquire all these knowledge and then do nothing with it. You don't invest it into other people. You don't try to motivate other people. You don't try to encourage or teach other people. Listen, you were created for a purpose, a reason. You're here on this earth not just to waste air, not just to waste real estate, not just to waste time, but you're here to make a difference. You're here to change the atmosphere, to change the world. You are valuable. You are special. You're unique. You are a rare diamond found in the depth of the mountain that nobody else can stumble upon, but they stumbled upon you. And you are awesome and beautiful all within your soul. So you have to make a change in this world. You're living a life of so many great things. You could do so many awesome things. Listen. When I first started coming up, I always thought that I was born to be average. I thought that I was going to be just like everybody else. I thought that I was going to be cookie cutter, just follow the masses. If people went left, I was supposed to go left. If people went right, I was supposed to go right. I spent all of my high school years, four years in high school, trying to fit in. And it wasn't until my senior year that I found out, listen, I was never meant to fit in. I was meant to be the outcast. I was meant to be the black sheep. Even in my life, I'm the youngest of 7 children. I'm the one out of wedlock. For some reason, something happened between my mom and my stepdad at that point in time. They fell out, and I was the one that was born out of wedlock. Listen, it's not a pleasant thing, but it made me special. I was the it kid. I believed that. I was crazy enough to believe that I was the wonder kid. And I started to think different. I started to see things in a different way, embrace things in a different way. When everybody told me no, I said, why? I said, why? I said, you have to tell me why I cannot do something. Otherwise, I would not accept it. If I came to a dead end, I looked up, I looked left, I looked right, but I never looked back. There's always an exit strategy from everything that you come across. And you have to understand, if you don't look at life in a different way, you're constantly going to see the same vision, right? So why should I get up? You should get up because, believe it or not, you need to succeed. Success is in your blood. Success is inevitable. Success is what you were made for. As a matter of fact, the Bible said, be fruitful and multiply, subdue, replenish, and have dominion over the earth. When God created you, he created you with a purpose in mind. And that purpose in mind, my friends, was for you to be a success. Was for you to be a leader, for you to grasp life, to conquer it, to call things that are not as though they are, to believe. I don't care what belief background you come from. Listen, you were made to create a difference in life. You have to understand, you don't want to live life thinking about, man, what should have, could have happened. You don't want to live life thinking about, man, if I would have really ventured out, if I would have started that business. It's better to have tried and failed than not to have tried at all. Right? Or they say it's better to have love and have a broken heart than never to have loved at all. Do it for the experience. Do it for the knowledge. Do it so that you can gain something. I've always said this, and I say this to all the leaders that I'm developing. I said, you never want to quit at a race not trying everything you possibly could. In other words, you don't want to leave something. You don't want to put something down and then come back later on and say, man, you know what? I should have tried this. I should have tried to tackle it this way. I should have came from behind. I should have, done this from that side. And then you regret it for the rest of your life. You know how many relationships you could have had that could have flourished, but you never submitted to forgiveness? Or how many businesses you could have had, but you never tried that unique twist to it? There's so many great things that, believe it or not, failure brings, and it brings a level of knowledge so that we can increase. Humanity has failed more than it has succeeded. But it's those failures that has allowed us to go and be thrusted to success. Imagine Steve Jobs with the iPhone. How many prototypes he had before he created the right one? Or Mac computers, right? All these things. So you have to understand that this is what you have to do. You cannot live a life of possibilities, but rather live a life of realities, right? So that's number one. Why should I try and get up? You have so many reasons why you should. You know, as humans, we try to convince ourselves to stay in the comfort zone. The comfort zone is warm, is nice, is cozy, but you cannot live there for the rest of your life. You got to get up and go, right? Get up and go. Point number 2, what if I fail? Oh my God, what if I fail? This is the most asked questions that I get. What if I fail? You know, Miguel, what if I try and I fail? You know what I say to that? Good. You ought to fail. You know why? Because failure brings success. Yes, I said that failure brings success. A lot of people think that failure is the opposite of success. No, it's not. I want you to reprogram your brain to understand that failure is not the opposite of success. As a matter of fact, failure is part of success. You need to fail at some things sometimes so that you can learn how to do it right or better the next time. You know how many times I failed in my life? I've been homeless. My father wasn't there. I've been heartbroken. I've been left. I've been rejected. I've things blown up in my face. Things have gone haywire. I've been in accidents. Been hurt. All these things. But I've come back even stronger. I know not what not to do when in those situations because of failure. Failure has taught me a lesson. It has been embedded in my mind, in my heart, what not to do. How can I succeed? It's helped me become a more determined person, more diligent. I welcome failures, in my life. Why? Because, it helps me understand where I went wrong. So guess what? What if you fail? Good. And then get up and do it again. Get up and do it again. Get up and do it again. Failure allows you to invest in yourself, because the next time you try to do something, you're going to try not to fail, right? So you're going to be more cautious. You're going to build your skills up. You're going to try to be more knowledgeable. You're going to study a little bit more. So that's good. Sometimes you have to fall flat on your face that you can know what not to do. Man, I remember when I first learned how to ride a bike. Oh my God, listen, I remember I scraped my knee. I'm literally, the skin came off my kneecap. I know it's nasty. I scraped my knee. I fell, almost had a concussion. They had to take me to the hospital, but I came right back and I hopped down on that bike. And to let you know how old that was, it was one of them banana seat bicycles, with the big handlebar banana seat. That's how long ago it was. But to this day, I could look at any bike and I can hop on it and I can ride it. Why? Because of what I learned. Failure taught me more than what success did. You understand? Sometimes when we succeed, believe it or not, we tend to be complacent and we say, you know what? I've made it. I'm good. I don't have to learn anymore. But failure sometimes keeps you on your back. It keeps you alert. It keeps you, on your toes, to see, okay, what's going to come next? Don't ever underestimate what can happen, but always prepare yourself. So that's point number 2. What if I fail? You got to tell good. Sometimes, when you're trying to motivate yourself, when you're trying to push yourself, you come up with all these possibilities of why you shouldn't do it. You should come right back and tell yourself all the great possibilities of why you should do it. What if I fail? Well, what if you don't? What if you succeed? What if you build the greatest invention that can help humanity? What if you have the next idea? Well, okay, what if you don't build something great, but guess what? You could have the nice, that nice idea that can help somebody else build on top of that. You never know the possibilities that may come. So that's why you should try, right? Point number 3. This is a good one. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of trying. I'm afraid of pain. I'm afraid of embarrassment. I'm afraid of whatever it is. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Fear is good. Fear, believe it or not, is something that we have created. At the beginning of everything, fear is not real. But it's something that we have created in our subconscious to keep us in the comfort zone. Fear was created so that you will not venture off past what you know. But that's where everything lies. Every greatest moment, life's greatest moment lies on the other side of fear. It is right there. If you don't push yourself to get past fear, I'm telling you, you're going to live a life of regret. I want to share something with you, and I'm pretty sure that you guys are probably looking at me right now and you're saying, oh man, he's so comfortable on camera. He's been doing this for such a long time. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Just a couple short months ago, I believe it was still winter time, and I think we're now in May, June, actually, it's June 1st, June 3rd, my birthday, woo-woo, right? 2 more days. So, a couple months ago, we're doing something from the church, one of our media department people, tell us, Pastor, you said you gotta come up with a welcome video for the church. We're working on the church website where you want to come up with a welcome video. I cannot go on camera. Mind you, all my sermons already have been broadcasted, have been, being recorded and everything. I just really never paid attention to the camera. But when I found out that the camera was there, oh my God, I was so nervous. It took me literally almost a whole week to record a 30-second video. 30-second video just welcoming people, just telling people, listen, welcome, blah, 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 this and this and that. And I was so fearful of being in the camera because the camera lets you know and it shows you all your blemishes. It shows you it is real, it's truthful, it tells you all your ups, all your downs, it doesn't lie to you. So I was so afraid of going on camera because I did not want to make a mistake. And I was so fearful of it. And I said, you know what? This is something that I have to do. If this is what's standing between me and my success, I'm going to crush it. I'm going to step over it. I'm going to annihilate it. And that's how you have to think about it. And I did that video. And from that video, then came another one. Then another one, then another one. And I'm here to tell you, my friends, that consistency is what builds success. Consistency is what builds success. You have to maintain a rhythm, a vibe, I want to say a constant pulse of success. It doesn't just come once, but you have to maintain it. So you have to go over and over again. And after that, I became a little bit comfortable, a little bit more comfortable. Now, I'm not 100% yet. No, I'm not. I may look like it, but I'm not. But you know what? It's that 1% that keeps me on my toes. It's that 1% that keeps me, focused. That little nervousness that keeps me on the edge, that keeps me on my P's and Q's. So it's good. So was I afraid? Of course. Am I afraid? Still yet. But it does not stop me. It is not an obstacle. It is not a determining benefactor in my success. Everybody has a level of fear, and fear is good because it's telling you that you're close to something great. And guess what? You have to continue to push past. You have to continue to push past and gain what it is that you want to gain. Fear is good. It's an indication that something greater is on the other side. Well, every time you have fear, it indicates to you that something greater is on the other side. Believe it or not, you think about it. You see horror movies. Right before they get to the exit is the most fearful point in every movie, right? They go through the whole mansion. People getting whacked, people getting hacked, all these things happening. Here it is, the main character, all blooded up, scarred up, scratched up. And the most fearful point is right before they get to the exit, right? So that's what you have to understand. You're right there. You're on the other side. You're right there on the verge of the other side of the exit, and you have to continue to push past. Fear is not real. I've learned to tell myself this thing. I've seen so many things in my life. One of the things, believe it or not, that I'm terrified of doing is flying. But I want to travel. You understand? So it's not ironic how every time you want to do something, fear lies ahead. We say this, in our spiritual classes, we say that fear immobilizes you. Believe it or not, it's something that comes to intimidate you, and it keeps you put. The most valuable thing ever given to people is not diamonds. It's not gold. It's not jewels. It's not money. It's time. And what fear does, fear robs you of your time, my friend. It takes time away from you. Think about it. At most, what we have is 120 years in our life. And because of fear, it robs your time over and over and over again. Every day you're trying to tell yourself, listen, I'm going to get up. I'm going to do it today. I'm going to start that weight losing class today. I'm going to start that exercise class today. I'm going to start that motivational class today. I'm going to start, whatever it is that you want to start today. You want to go back to school, and you have fear of your bills piling up. You have fear of people telling you what to do. You have fear of you being older in a class full of young people. You have a fear of all these things. But fear is trying to keep you put, so your time is being wasted. And as the more and more time goes by, the more your fear increases. Fear feeds of your time. Do not give it time. Don't pay attention to it. It's not real. Every great of the greats that can ever always tell you this, they had a fear of speaking. They had a fear of going in front of people. They had a fear of doing what it is. But listen, if they not overcome that fear, they would not be where they were today. I was so afraid of speaking in public, and I did not know what God was trying to create in me, to the point where, when I ventured off into ministry, then we started a ministry, I had to speak every day. I'm talking about, no, it wasn't a choice. It wasn't that, you teach or you teach. No, I was the pastor. I am the senior pastor. I'm the CEO, the founder. So guess what? I had to be the first partaker of what I was telling everybody else. I was quoting scriptures, and I was saying, Well, a leader needs to teach. A leader needs to be influential. A leader needs to do this. But I had to show by example. So watch this. God was already working with me. I was teaching once a week for an hour and a half. I was speaking, once a week, giving a sermon, giving motivational speeches, and I was doing it. And then one service turned to two service turned to three. Then I was being called out here now. And all the time I'm telling myself, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I've been doing it now for close to almost 10 years. 10 years nonstop, 10 years without stopping, 10 years without, going. Every week I'm speaking 3 and 4 times, and I have engagements here and there. And here I'm telling myself that I can't do it until I embrace myself. And I say, wait a minute, I'm doing it already. Sometimes you focus on fear so much that you forget that what you're afraid of, you're doing it already. And you have to encourage yourself. You have to motivate yourself. You have to push past those situations, right? Woo! Are you pumped up already? Listen, you got to get up and go. You have to push yourself, motivate yourself. Let me give you the fourth key to getting up and go. Now, this one, excuse me, this one is very dear to my heart. And I want to share with you a personal testimony. God shared something with me, and he dropped it in my spirit. And he said this to me: victory is not achieved, is maintained. Victory is not achieved, is maintained. And I'm going to let you know why. Because sometimes we try to get that gold ring in the carousel. Or we try to go after that big carrot, right? And once we get it, we feel like we've made it. But you have to understand that from the minute you get up from that chair, from the minute you get up from that bed or whatever it is that you're sitting on, laying on, from the minute you get up, that's success right there. You committing to yourself that you're going to do it is success. And now you have to maintain that rhythm. It's almost like running. Nobody starts at 60 or 5 or 10 miles an hour right away. No, you have to gradually increase your pace. That's what success is all about. It's developing your skills. That the more skills you have, success is going to be inevitable. I want to share something with you that was very dear to my heart. I have 4 beautiful children, and my first 3 children never had any complications with their birth. They all were born natural, all were born healthy, all were born the right pound, the right ounces, the right measurement. Everybody was okay, fine, never had a problem with that until my last little boy. My last little boy was born, and he came. I always said this to my wife. I said he had an assignment to come to this world because he came. Everybody else was normal vaginal birth. This one had to be a C-section. He was like, I'm coming out. I don't care what happens. I'm coming out. And he's so strong, so determined. He's barely 2, but I love him. And when he was born, mom was, recuperating. They put him on me. Immediately, we had this bond, this beautiful bond. I looked into his eyes, and honest to God, I could have sworn that he spoke to me just by looking at me. We had this awesome, in-depth conversation. It was like an angel being reincarnated in my son. And I was speaking to him through my heart, and he was speaking right back to me. And everything was fine. The nurse said everything was fine. He was with me, and all of a sudden, they snatched him away from me. And we didn't see him for a couple of hours. And then the nurse came back to us, and they said to us, we have some problems. And immediately my heart dropped, and I said, what's the problem? And they were saying to us, our son had forgotten to breathe. In other words, he cannot get the pattern of breathing now coming into this world. He cannot get the pattern of breathing, so he was breathing irregularly. So, you understand, no oxygen. That could have suffered, brain damage, so many organic failures, even death. So immediately my heart dropped, and he was in an incubator for a week. But I didn't give up. And I'm telling you, if you want to know the power of prayer, if you want to know the power of faith, don't just pray or have faith for what you want, but pray and have faith for what you don't want to lose. There's nothing like praying for what you don't want to lose. And mom was recuperating. It was me there. And I immediately started praying, and I came next to him, and we could only touch him in the incubator through them little gloves that you could go by. But I started coaching him. And I know that he understood me because, like I said, we just had that connection eye to eye. And I started saying to him, breathe with me. And I breathe in, and I breathe out. And I breathe in and I breathe out. So that his pattern can match my pattern. His pattern can match my pattern. And right then and there, God reminded me and said, victory is maintained, it's not achieved. In other words, you have to create a pattern that can help you maintain what you have. The Bible tells us, hold fast what you have, that nobody can take away from you. My son's name is Stephen, and Stephen means victory. I maintained that victory. I was not going to lose that child, not to anything or anybody, not to any disease, not to any irregularity. So I created a pattern of breathing, and I continue, and I will speak to him. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. I knew that he was listening to me. I knew that he was listening to me. And to this day, here he is walking around and about, wreaking havoc and doing all kinds of things. But he's here today because I refused to give up when everybody else told me that there was no hope. Don't ever give up. Even when they tell you there's no hope, don't ever give up. You were meant to succeed. You were meant to create things out of nothing. You were meant to be successful. So my friends, listen, I'm telling you this. Listen, get up and go. I don't care what it takes for you to get up out that chair. If you're procrastinated, okay, good, you procrastinated. Now let's do something different. If you were lazy, okay, good, you were lazy. Now let's do something different. Let's change the script. You complained about it, you ached about it, you said all these things about it, good. You had your pity party, your sorrow, good. Put it aside. Let's get up. Let's go. Let's change life. Let's make it happen one step at a time. Today is your day. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for Tuesday. I don't care if Wednesday's your best day. Today is Thursday. Friday is tomorrow. Let's start today. Let's be pumped up. Let's change the world. Let's make a difference. Put that idea to writing. Do something to start off today, because success waits for no man. You have to create it on your own. Create success. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if it's sunny. Create success for yourself. You determine your success, not nobody else, not the economy, not your money, not your emotions. You determine your success. And today is the day that you will succeed. Start today by getting up and go. Listen, I'll see you at the top. God bless you.